is Jim Henneberry, and I'm also known as the Wealthcare Guy. In my years in the real estate profession, which numbers more than 30 years, what we found is investors seem to ask a set of questions that come up time and time again. We have decided to put these together in a set of videos which we call frequently asked questions, and I believe we're going to end up with 10 of these frequently asked question videos. The first one that we find is asked of real estate professionals around the country is, what is the market doing? So that's the number one video. What's the market doing? Well, to answer this, what we have to do is firstly define what is the market. If I was to compare it to the Australian Stock Exchange and that marketplace and the share market, it's quite easy for you to log on to a site, Australian Stock Exchange, go in and find out that there's over 2,000 companies listed on the public stock exchange in Australia. If you were to invest in the stock market, you'd probably define some of those shares down into groups, and whether it be mining or retail, you would decide which area you want to go into. Once you decide which area, you then start drilling down to what companies are doing, performing, or what companies are performing the best, which ones are showing good dividends, and you probably start making your decisions from there. Now, if you were to invest in property, the first thing you do is exactly the same thing, trying to find the market. If you were to go into Australia Post and pick up one of these little books, what you'd find is here, there's over 15,000 suburbs in Australia. That's true. 15,000 plus suburbs in Australia. That's our marketplace. What we have to do is we have to narrow that down. So narrow it down by state or territory. Then narrow it down again into suburbs. In the suburbs in Western Australia, for instance, we get these quarterly reports from the Real Estate Institute. This is every suburb in Western Australia, and it tells us on a quarterly basis what our market is doing and how they are performing, and which suburbs are going up, which suburbs are going down. So we have the same data basically as the Australian Stock Exchange. If you're in other parts of Australia, there's other data collection agencies such as RP Data, and as a member of the Wealthcare Academy, we also supply you with copies of the Smart Property Investment magazine, which comes out monthly. Every 3 months or so, this magazine prints an Australia-wide suburb report on sales activity that's been happening in that quarter as well. So our students inside the Wealthcare, they get an exercise to do. And what we ask them to do is we ask them to decide or select 2 or 3 suburbs, and we will track and chart those 2 or 3 suburbs until such time as we are comfortable knowing what is actually happening and how they are performing. Exactly the same as we would do if we went into the share market. Now, because of this definition of markets and defining the marketplace, we can now go and answer the question that was posed to us in the first place. What's the market doing? If you have broken the market down into 2 or 3 suburbs, then you can actually answer that question. So this ends the video 1 in the part of frequently asked questions. The others are below. Please feel free to view them and give us some feedback.